Hi guys, I'm Rogue Squid, and I wanted to share with you the updated patch notes for 12.11 that came out yesterday on Escape From Tarkov. So I'm just going to run through the main points here. I'm not going to go through every single bug fix. So the main one being obviously the factory expansion. If you haven't had time to yet, have a look around. It's in factory. It's a nice little expansion which will change the flow of the map quite a bit, give a few new flanking routes. There's also the new scav boss, Tagila, who is Killer's brother. He has that sledgehammer, which, trust me, you don't want to be hit by it, and a Sega 12 drum mag shotgun. We also have the first kind of look at the weapon malfunctions system and the kind of the effect on the weapon itself from deterioration. So you can now have a misfire on any gun really, and these misfires can happen in different ways, but there's a way to solve them. Shift T will rectify the misfire or the weapon malfunction on spot in raid, but you can also do it by either reloading or sometimes I think checking chamber will do it, and that will clear the malfunction. I've had one of these already mid-firefight, which was a little bit scary. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. The condition of the weapons has changed as well. So more or less every weapon you pick up off a scav is going to be half durability. Certain ammunition types and weapon mods will affect the deterioration speed of weapons. If you look at certain items, certain like modifications and ammos, it will have a stat saying durability burn to show how much extra you are damaging the durability of that weapon. Bear in mind also that these scav weapons are now, half of them aren't worth very much, and some of them you can only sell defense now because their durability is so low. You can repair them, but not by very much, and it might not be cost effective. Different ammo now has an increased or decreased chance of a misfire, which again is something to keep an eye out for. The condition of the weapon, i.e. its durability, will influence its base accuracy and offset of the center of point of impact and general misfire chance. So basically keep your weapons in good order, otherwise they're going to get less accurate and have a higher chance of misfiring. They've added NVIDIA reflex support and decreased in-game input lag. So any of you with an NVIDIA graphics card, you might want to have a look at downloading this and using its settings to the best. I have AMD, so I don't have this option, unfortunately. Now, the scav karma system has been added. You can lose reputation by killing non-hostile scavs as a scav, and gain it by helping scavs and scav bosses to kill the enemy. You can also gain feint's reputation using a friendly scav exfil or by using car exfil. So basically, if you run around as a scav shooting every other scav in sight, you're going to end up with a bit of a bad situation later on. Scav karma system affects the player scav cooldown, the scav box craft time, the amount of exfils for player scavs, car extract fee, so you'll probably get charged more if you've got a lower scav karma, the kit that your player scav is given, and the prices when selling to fence. Basically, it pays right now to have good scav karma. I'm trying to keep mine as high as possible. The higher fence reputation is, the more often AI scavs will agree to help you and will respond to your commands. With low reputation, AI scavs will attack you. With very high levels of reputation, AI scavs will help by attacking player scavs' enemies, and bosses will be considered allies. Players will be able to purchase uninsured items lost by other players by reaching Fence's max loyalty level, which sounds kind of cool. I look forward to finding a kitted SA-58, for example, or kitted M4 or something like that I can purchase from Fence. Hopefully at a reasonable price once the scav karma system is in the right kind of area. There's also the option to have a bit of expandable space, apparently. I haven't actually checked this out yet, so I can't really say much about it. All I can tell you is what this says. It's the sorting table option is not used for storage, but as a sorting area. It's available only when out of raid and has no size limitations. So what I seem to think this means is that if your stash is pretty much full and you come out of a scav raid with a decent amount of loot, but you wouldn't normally have anywhere to stick it, you've got an expandable buffer zone where you can put this stuff temporarily and then shunt it about later. But again, don't quote me on this because this isn't something I've tried out yet. So they've also fully reworked the in-game ballistics parameters for objects on all locations. So penetration chances, bullet deviations from fragmentation. So that fence that you may have once been able to shoot through, you may not be able to anymore. And some things you may not have been able to shoot through before, you now can. And I imagine there's also going to be a certain amount of ricochet chance that's changed as well. So be on the lookout for that. If you get tapped by a bullet that was nowhere near you, that might be why. They've included new equipment, loads of armor vests, chest rigs, backpacks and other items. There are new weapons, there are new quests, new barter items. You can change your PMC face now. There's new weapon mods. You can now report a suspicious player in the flea market. If you are a streamer, there's a streamer status, which I believe you can get from personal request. There's details on how you can do it, will be given later. There's the new skill is weapon maintenance. I've already got level 1 for this, which is not bad. Troubleshooting is the ability to clear weapon malfunctions, and how quickly and easily you do that is based on this new skill. And the max character level is now 79, which is quite high. In terms of changes, there's been an optics rework. It's quite noticeable when you go into raid, but personally I think it's a good thing. The aiming camera will now always be at an equal distance from the weapon. The distance does not depend on the sight installed and the way it is mounted on the gun, on the receiver, on the handrail, etc. The change affects mechanical and kilometer sights, including those used in hybrid sights. They've added a limit on the number of items put on the flea market in one lot. Now, the size of the pack of the items in the lot cannot exceed the size of the stash. So what I think this means is that people who've been using the flea market as a form of free advertising, i.e. streamers, by putting like pack sizes on that you physically, they're just too big to buy, now you can't do that. That would be my understanding anyway. The flea market is now accessible on level 20. Personally, I think this is a good thing. It should change the progression of the game to be a little bit different. Stop some players being like fully geared on day one. The Kappa quest is now more difficult to complete. I'm waiting to see what this actually means, but you know, it's more difficult now. Several quest rewards have changed. Some have apparently been improved. Changed and balanced spawn chances for most of the items. I think we were all expecting a bit of a change to the spawns for the items. Rebalanced weapon mods in terms of fighting the meta presets. So I think certain mods have become kind of like absolute must-haves for certain weapons, and I think Battlestate's trying to deal with that by balancing things out a little bit. The availability of top-tier ammunition and gear has been rebalanced. Again, I think this is something we were expecting, and I think most people will be quite pleased about this. Reduced the strength skill bonuses for movement speed. Now, I think, again, this is another thing we were expecting. Everyone has been saying that the strength perk is pretty overpowered, so yeah, it's not a bad thing that this has been done. Increased the leveling speed of mag drill skill. I've been saying that needs to happen for a while. Redone the lighting of the game interface objects. I believe this is a small UI change that should be a quality of life improvement. And updated the in-game map for woods. Well, that was a long time coming. The map that Therapist sold was obsolete at the moment the expansion came last wipe. So yeah, that's dealt with, which is a good thing. So I'm not going to go into all the fixes and stuff because there's a huge list of them. But there's some good bug fixes in there. There's a few things in this patch that I'm hoping will be sorted out soon. For example, I believe there's a bit of a bug on woods with the frame rate. People have been noticing a frame rate drop on woods, especially in heavily wooded areas. But apart from that, I'm quite pleased with this patch and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. It's progressing quite well and I'm having fun. So if you found this video helpful, please feel free to check out my other content. Drop me a subscribe or a comment down in the comment section, and I'll see you next time. Good luck out there.